Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War. We're not in a current campaign, so we're in between campaign 26 and 27 week. So of course, we're in the in-between time where I would say nothing is going on, but honestly we have quite a few things going on this week. We have ourselves the Vault event weekend this weekend. We still have the last week to do the current Year of the Horse event for the Lunar New Year event to be able to get the new Centaur troop. That's pretty good if you don't have Wardbreaker, but would probably never be used if you do have Wardbreaker. But a great alternative to Wardbreaker if you don't have Wardbreaker in a pure Centaur or pure Divinium Fields team. Beyond that, of course, Blue Doom. Main thing we'll be focusing on. Go do every last battle we can for that. Be able to finish out pretty much most of that today. Believe the guild's already fully scouted, so we're good to go. And yeah, just all the normal stuff. But oh yeah, and the Valentine's Day this Wednesday. With that being said, we also have the Valentine's Day reward on the actual day of Valentine's Day, obviously, the 14th, which is probably just 50 gems with a handful of red trait stones. Better than nothing. Basically a second tribute for today, or an extra tribute or two, depending on where you're at in the game. But yeah, that's pretty much the game plan. Let's start with this event because I have a feeling I will forget to go do it. I will also go get the troop because, yeah, we're going to go mess with him today. We're probably not going to mess with him that long because he's pretty, underwhelming. If you have Wardbreaker, you're never going to need him ever. But if you don't have Wardbreaker, he's a great Wardbreaker alternative for Centaur Divinium Field. So he still has a use case. We'll mess with him some. Definitely doesn't need a video, but we'll at least go and, build some pure Centaur teams out of it and go from there. We'll, of course, get the pet all the way upgraded. Still going to need the points to go get the other copy, though. I think we're actually going to be able to earn that today, so let's go get that right now, actually. Also, thank you so much, Mulu, for the $10 tip. Greatly appreciated. And hope everyone had a wonderful Super Bowl if you ended up watching. And the team I was rooting for actually won as well. I'm not really into sports or anything, but between the Seahawks and the Patriots is like, oh yeah, Seahawks. Because in my high school band, the football team was actually called the Seahawks as well. So yeah, I just always vote for, or I guess I always root for them then. Maybe not like every football thing, but if they're making it a Super Bowl, definitely voting for them. They have no affiliation with the high schools of Seahawks. But it's just kind of funny because they're both called the Seahawks. They're both a football team called the Seahawks, but one's high school level, the other one's obviously NFL level, which is quite a bit different. But there's actually another team called the Seahawks. Anyways, what am I doing here? I am just clearing these out real quick. Just do it with a quick flower dragon build. But yeah, I'm still stuffed from yesterday. We had so much stuff to snack on. Still got to go for the blueberry cheesecake later. We only took out like half of it yesterday. But pretty much everything else we finished by now. Also, hello, yeah, hello Chris, hello Mulu, hello Defiant, hello Cookie, hello Jets, thanks again Mulu, greatly appreciated. And hello everyone else, hello to lurkers, hello everyone watching after the fact. Any fun teams for the Holiday Legendary? We're going to be messing with that a little bit later this video, or with this stream I mean. But yeah, we're going to be messing with it. Not going to do it right now as I do want to finish out like most of Tower of Doom and stuff like that. But we'll mess with them a couple battles. There's not too much we could really do with them though. But, we'll build a 4x Centaur team, 4x Divinium Fields, probably both. And, mess around. And when I say both, I mean both at the same time. Because realistically, a 4x Divinium Fields team is a 4x Centaur team. The entire kingdom is almost Centaur, like 80% or something, 70, 80%. But yeah, he's not bad. It's just in any case that you own Wardbreaker, you would never need him. But he's really great if you don't have Wardbreaker. He does have a little bit of a magic gain too, which I guess could still be useful in that case. I just feel like a Wardbreaker Centaur team doesn't have enough room to put him on the team. You'd have to give up a pretty vital trip to be able to fit him with Wardbreaker. They also have full mana conflict with each other, since they're both a red-green. But the only difference, of course, being Wardbreaker also having yellow. Alright, we have enough for the pet now. Let's actually go get it. So we got the pet all the way maxed. We now have the golden version. And now the only thing we need is to start saving for the power orb the rest of the week, which should be pretty easy. I believe there's like 1 or 2 days that we don't need to end up doing the extra 50. And then just go and do that the rest of the days. And yeah, go get our power orb. We're almost there. Final thing in the reward as far as the event. But all the unique stuff we already got. Armor, obviously, we got in the past. We got the troop. We got the pet maxed. And we got the extra copy of the pet, or, the golden version. So as far as all uniques, we're already done. But of course, we'll still keep going to get the power orb. As it's only going to cost probably like 250 gems to finish it out, somewhere around there, 250, 300 gems. That's why I always say it's like a few hundred gems. Because I believe at this point we have all rewards, but if we were to spend 250 or 300 gems more, we would have the power orb as well, which of course we will be going for. Alright, oh, yeah, we'll take that one. Doesn't really matter too much. I'm a little bit concerned about his barrier mechanic, but he should die before that's relevant. Whoop, if I can click it, there we go. Yeah, main focus today is probably going to be on Blue Doom, which is kind of funny because, of course, we have Blue Doom this week, but in a few weeks from now, we have Blue Guild Wars, so a lot of blues going on soon. His Guild War next restriction is blue in a couple weeks. And the only real difference with this is you have to use the Doom weapon. Well, then you have to build your team a little bit differently. Because obviously you don't have to deal with elementals or infinite loops and stuff like that. For this, you just go all in on speed. You don't really need much survivability. You might need like elementals or something eventually in first slot or something else tanky. But beyond that, you don't really need to build much to counter out the enemy team, whereas in Guild War, obviously you have to build a lot more around that. But yeah, it's a really easy color. Obviously blue has Tesla. Oh yeah, didn't mention it in stream, though I did mention in the video, obviously. Is we got Tesla and Soulforge. Don't leave this week without it. If any of you don't have your single double Tesla, ideally double, highly advised to get it. And if you normally struggle to get diamonds, no worries. There's a Vault event weekend this weekend. So if you don't have the diamonds, you can go get it. It's only on PC Mobile though. But if you are on PC Mobile, definitely make sure to go and get it. Also, why is there a pixel right there? I thought that was my screen for a second. Like a dead pixel. But no, that right there is not a dead pixel. That's just it being weird. That's just the game adding a pixel. Why though? You guys see it, right? I'm not going crazy. There should be a pixel right there. Like it's not right there. But now there's a pixel right there. I'm surprised they haven't fixed that glitch. Obviously it's not a big one, but it annoys me to no end. Every time I see that pixel there. It's been in the game for like a few years like that. Ever since they changed it to like that new layout, like that fancier layout with Soulforge. There's always been like that one extra pixel that sometimes shows up. It doesn't always show up, but it's occasionally there. Blue Doom means 3 times Tesla. You could. You do need mana accumulation for it though. Because keep in mind, you're forced to have to use the weapon, so you need to have at least like one other thing on the team to go give it mana. Normally that would be one of the empowers that could feed it red. But you could just do it off enchant if you don't mind wasting a few turns. Or trying to get the red mana early or the blue mana early if you're putting hero in last slot. Because otherwise our only mana accumulation is basically the enchant. Which I guess a lot of times is enough. You just have to wait a few turns before it really starts picking up. Because blue doesn't have 50% mana start to human. Actually, no color would, because Tesla and Holy Saint Ash are different colors. So whenever you're under color restriction, you can't get 50% mana start to Tesla. That's the only one really big downside of her. Because even though she's really great in those categories, like blue and red, both blue and red does not allow 50% mana starting her. But 20% with potion and explosions isn't that bad though. In a lot of cases, it might even be better than 50% mana start. I'm not sure why my right eye is burning right now. I think about I had a little bit of leftover pizza from the Super Bowl the other day. I think I got like grease or something when I like rubbed my eye slightly. I like wash it out later or something. Yeah, we did that. Campaign's coming next week. We'll worry about that later. Obviously, it's not this week. Tower of Doom, I will wait just a little bit, just because once we start Tower of Doom, we're going to be like really into Tower of Doom. As far as everything we need to go finish with it. Valentine's Day pet, we don't need to wait to do till this Wednesday. Come on, top 3. Top 3. Boo. At least we only got Frozen. Only. Freeze is kind of annoying. It's one of the more annoying mechanics. Though, Silence has to be the most annoying by far, though. Out of any of the effects that you have to deal with on Dungeon Days, I don't think any of them are worse than Silence. Obviously, you could just hard counter it with like ability or something similar, like with any of them. But Silence does feel the most annoying to me whenever it rotates around. Alright, final one done. I'm not sure why I'm trying to be so safe about not clicking the bottom there. As if we have a perfect. Unfortunately, with that freeze, we don't. If it was a power-up room, it would have been. Yeah, Silence and Stun are definitely the worst. Stun because you can't use on-trait cleanse, like Beatrix, unless you're using, like, Orpheus. And Silence for the obvious reason that you just can't cast anything. Like, you basically have to do it all for trait. Hello, Isabel. Hope all's been going well. All, right, all that's cleared out. This we don't need to worry with. Dragonite we'll buy every day, though. We don't have enough yet. Oh, yeah, you know what we could do real quick, just for the fun of it? We should be able to go do a couple of deep books here. Let's see if we get anything. We're looking for red right now. We don't actually care about a purple as much. Which is exactly why we're going to get purple. Nope, we got the red. Nice. Reason we care about red is we're currently upgrading attack kingdoms. And I have 2 attack kingdoms I need to upgrade, but they're both bottlenecked by red right now. And I believe Wild Plains is next, based on the fact I have it level 19. Yeah, we're only 2 red deep books short. We're almost there. We might even have it next week, or this week, potentially later in the week. But by next week, we might end up having it. Who knows? Maybe they give us a red deep book for Valentine's Day. Could you imagine? They're definitely not going to. But can we get a red deep book? That would probably be the last red deep book I need if they do it. We'll probably get the other ones from our gold marks. And then that would give us the final. They're definitely not going to do that, but that'd be great if they did. But yeah, we're close. We're only like 2 red deep books away. Really close. Okay, next order of business. We did that. Games, Dungeon, Underspire. Oh yeah, what was the Underspire team? Wasn't it kind of bad this week? I'm probably just doing the free battles again. Yeah, that's not great. This is basically just Ruby Weapon Rush with some other damage sources behind it if we want to end up utilizing it. That is not too good to end up using. Should have on copy paste now, right there. There we go. Well, if nothing else, we have a new reason to use the blue evil dragon. But I feel like Ruby Weapon does get better overall damage in it, because you're doing true damage instead of physical. It also has a lot of extra turn potential. Though this early on, we're not going to need the extra turn potential, but you know, later on, that's relevant. Grab the free lantern. We're just going to do the free battles. I just really can't see myself running this thing all the way to the end. Like, it could, like, with every week. Like, this team definitely could run all the way to the end. It just feels like it would be so annoying to do it with. I've really been going light on them ever since we did the 5 weeks of doing it full completion. But we've just been getting such average weeks since then. Oh, 4 arcanes, nice. If I actually need arcanes, that would actually be a pretty substantial amount. I didn't even realize they could drop that many. You've been crazy busy? Oh gosh. Yeah, I'm still like so backed up on stuff I need to go do right now as well. Especially since I got almost nothing done yesterday because of the Super Bowl. Like everything I wanted to get done yesterday, I did like almost none of it. And then that made today behind. What are attack kingdoms have you upgraded? I don't remember the full list off the top of my head. I'm actually really bad at remembering all the attack kingdoms. Mostly because they changed which kingdoms were attack kingdoms at one point. And there's no good way to go into the menu to kind of check. I basically have to use a third-party resource to even double-check myself, honestly. Like, magic kingdoms I always remember, but attacks I don't. Just because the amount of attack kingdoms in the game will eventually shift. Like, Groshnok used to be attack, and I believe it's not attack anymore for reasons I cannot explain. Because isn't Groshnok not attack? It used to be, but it isn't anymore. Like, ones like those is what always confuses me. Because I'm pretty sure they changed it to armor for reasons I cannot comprehend. Yeah. I don't know why. This used to be an attack kingdom, now it's armor. But there's a few other kingdoms that they shifted, and the problem is I never memorized them correctly. So I always forget which ones are the attack kingdoms, because Groshnok used to be attack. But it's not anymore. And there's a few others that were shifted at the time, and I just completely forget which ones are and aren't these days. That still baffles me, though, that they made that not attack kingdom. Like, it's one of the most attack kingdoms you could ever have as attack kingdom, and it's like, nope, let's change it to armor. Like, if I was to think of, like, 3 kingdoms as an attack kingdom, I would think of Pride Lands, Groshnok, which isn't an attack kingdom, and honestly, maybe Zolkiri, though that's actually a magic kingdom. It's like an attack magic mix. But if I was to think, like, conceptually which ones are attack kingdom, it'd probably be, like, those 3, maybe even Kedar or something. But, no, only Pride Lands is of those. Alright, what am I doing here? I am doing, Underspire. We're just doing the free battles real quick. Oh, nice. 25 writs. And because we have to take this anyways, we'll go take the one trap battle right in front of the door. And we'll scrap some mana. Come on, Red from Sky? No, I didn't get it. Do we have a Cascade for this? Doesn't look like it. Let's take all of our mana there and go from there, get our explosion. Oh, wow, the keg is right there. Like, right there. I think that's the earliest keg I've ever seen. It's the first room after the first floor. Oh, we'll grab it eventually. Okay, so, next thing. I guess we clear out PvP real quick, then I'll mess with the legend, and then I'll save Tower of Doom for last, just because it's going to be the most time-consuming thing by far. Also, before I forget, let me go open my one Volky. I have, like, exactly one Volky. Want to make sure we're at a nice solid 0 for Vault Event Weekend, of course. Easier to keep track. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing a stream for Vault Event Weekend this time, but we'll still go for a little bit of grind on it. It's just Brighter Shores did something recently that we might be streaming quite a bit of. And it's probably going to skip into like the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time a lot of time. That are just when I'm going to end up eating dinner. But I will still be grinding. It just will be off stream most likely. And then when we come back for next week, we'll have a nice fresh campaign ready to go. Alright, so we did that. Games, nothing we need to do here. Keys, we just finished them. Alright, PvP is the only thing left other than doing the entirety of Tower of Doom. Or as far as we can go with what we have. So we got to do either War Gear or Beast. I guess we'll do War Gear, not because War Gear is that much better, but because we have access to a nearly max Glacia. So let's just get our magic first to end up assisting it, so we have a little bit better damage. Go head over there, get the battles done, get all the basics. Oh yeah, we did move down to Diamond, so this is one thing I need to go do this week. Maybe I'll do that when I farm Vault Event a little bit. We need to go get top 10 for, or not top 10, whatever, the top 3 for our current bracket for PvP this week. Because we finally were able to lose in Diamond. I'm not sure why, but we kept, like, winning the last month for some reason. Like, I kept trying to lose Diamond, but we kept not losing Diamond. But we finally have, so now we can go get a very easy first, second, or third in Ruby rank. So we do need to make sure we get a little bit more PvP in this week compared to normal. But I can easily just synergize that with some Vault Event Weekend later this weekend. And just do a little bit of verse farming and gold farming while getting that. And who knows, maybe we'll get some full value Dragonite. I really need it. We still do not have the Yellow Dragon. We're like 20 or 21 eggs deep. I think we're 20 deep. We went 27 on Gem Dragons. I hope it doesn't take that long again. But we're like one set of 6 away from that being the case. Like if we go one more set dry, we will be as dry as we were for Gem Dragon. Which I thought would never happen again just because how absurd it was. And what's even worse is these cost 100 gems more than the Gem Dragons did. So technically every 6 dragons we go dry. No, every 5. Right? Yeah, every 5 that we go dry is like 6 of the other dragon. Right? Did I do the math right there? Because they're 500 more each. Yeah, so every 5 is basically 6. And because of that, that means at 20 we are basically at, 4 more than that. So we're technically at 24 right now compared to Gem Dragons as far as how much Dragonite we went down. Which means in 3 more, we would have exceeded the total amount of Dragonite spent for the Gem Dragons. Just to be able to get the 6 of them. So yeah, we're only 3 away from that happening. It won't be as many dragons, but it would be more Dragonite spent towards it. So thank you, Clip Bomb, for the continued support. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Alright, let's go and just take this battle out. Oh yeah, I don't have a team here. I forgot about that. I gotta build a team, don't I? Glacia. What do we need? What do we have for Empower in this category? I feel like nothing. Oh yeah, Sea Dog. I forgot about that. He's not just for, a Blackhawk. Okay, and let's go Wand. Make this nice and easy. Just double Empower in the Wand. All in on Immortal Glacia. That's not the order I wanted. There we go. Alright, that should be fine. And just make our banner like a blue. You deny blue, don't you? No, it's purple. Well, we can make it blue-green. Blue's the more important color here, though. Actually, let me get rid of green. What cool blue banners do we have? Mine's like yellow, brown or something. Blue, yellow? Yeah, why not? And then we'll just change our class to mech in case they have Submerge. This team doesn't actually need anti-submerge, but it still gets rid of barrier and stuff, so we don't have to deal with it. I like to have it even if we don't have to deal with Submerge, just have to get rid of other beneficial effects. It's just so nice having Dispel every single time you take an extra turn. There's a lot of battles where I kind of just expect this to have it, and then I don't put it on. It's like, oh yeah, I don't have that mechanic, did I? Because I use it so often these days that it feels weird not running it. In a lot of instances, it's not optimal, but it still helps out a lot. Also, thank you for the continued support as well, Chad. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you, Clip On. Yeah, I can't believe Valentine's already around the corner. Feels like this year just started and we're already like halfway through second month almost. Alright, these battles are really easy. That's one nice thing about this Wargear category, or any category that's kind of bad, is your team might be worse, but so is everyone else's. Because obviously everyone's at the same restriction. So even if yours is worse, you know, everyone also has a worse team. So it's not that bad normally in a lot of like these weaker categories. Not that Wargear is the weakest thing in the game, but there's a lot of mechanics that they're generally just lacking. Mana accumulation being one of the biggest. They're good at like single target killing and a couple other things like that. But they're particularly bad at mana accumulation. Something or quite a few categories suffer. Even Undead did for quite a while until they got the most recent trip that came out last week. That kind of saved Undead. It's not the best mana accumulator in the game, but you know, it's better than, it is way better than what they had, that's for sure. Like way, way, way better. It's kind of funny when like an average troop does that. Because in theory, he's not really that good. The only reason he's good is because everything that was already in that category for mana accumulation was so bad. Not because he himself was inherently good, but because everything else in the category was just so bad compared to it. Which is kind of like what the current horse troop is for the current Lunar New Year event. They'll be messing around with probably right as soon as we go finish this out, this PvP. But like, he's a really average AoE damage troop, with nothing really too special with it. But in the context of his restriction, he's like the second best option that isn't Roadbreaker. At least in combination with like Artima and everything, especially if you have it shinied. Alright, let's just go do our 3 central battles, and then we'll go mess with a new horse guy now that we got him upgraded. I do need to go level 1 trade him, but that'll just take a few minutes, or a few seconds. I almost said few minutes. I sure hope it won't take a few minutes. Maybe back in the day it did. I still remember spending like hours on end farming for trait stones back in the day. Back when that was something you actually did before we had orbs and like a billion other ways to get trait stones. Like, that was legitimately something you would go out of your way to farm. Like, just go and try to power farm trait stones so you can get the arcanes and everything else. Arcanes and Celestials were like the 2 main bottleneck. Then the most common one, oddly enough. The lowest rarity, Arcanes and Celestials were always the biggest bottleneck. Rares and Ultra Rares were never really that hard to ever get. But the common, because you need so many Arcanes, because you need them very specifically for a lot of things. And Celestials because they were the rarest. And to some degree that's still the case, it's just you have orbs and so many other mechanics that kind of bypass it now. Alright, there we go. That should be PvP basic completed. Don't think we need to do anything fancy beyond that, other than I guess check this real quick. Oh yeah, that's something I didn't check for the video. Were the burning chests any good this week? No. Eventually. I'm waiting for that Ossifer and Fernex, something that isn't horrible combination. Honestly, even Ossifer and Fernex I would take in a heartbeat if they showed up here. I'm waiting for Ossifer and Fernex and like literally any other third troop. And then I'm going to dump them all. But for now, we're holding out. And playing the long game. We still got plenty of weeks. It's not even half over. The PvP season is only, well, actually it's almost half over. But we still got plenty of time. Alright, let me go grab this. I'm just double checking there isn't like a boost or anything there. Yep, we're good to go. But yeah, we did end up buying the pass this time around. I almost forgot about that too. We do need to make sure we fully complete out the pass since we bought it this time. I don't think that's going to be too big of an issue, though. But there's definitely going to have to be a week or two where we power grind PvP a bit more than normal. Speaking of which, how are we doing on ladder? Wow. I did bare minimum daily and we're already 5th place. Look at how better Ruby rank is. If this was Diamond, we would be like right here. Right now. But at Ruby rank, we're at rank 5 just doing bare minimum dailies. And there's someone else who did bare minimum dailies, and probably this person too. That's kind of funny. Alright, anyways, that's done. Let's go mess with the new troop. Not gonna mess with them too much, but I did want to go and try them out. Alright, let me go copy paste the Doom team before I do this, because I do need that team. That team is very important for, I'm not sure what battle I need to go do. Guild, help! What battle do we need to do? Oh, he color-coded it this time. That's kind of cool. He color-coded our rooms. Alright, let me just do one battle real quick so it saves. And then we'll go test the legend. And then we'll go and just do the entirety of Tower of Doom then. Or until we run out of sigils. Though I did buy tier 6 this time around again, so hopefully we'll be able to go and get a little bit deeper. Hello Tyrion, welcome, welcome. And as you mentioned, definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and it's greatly appreciated. Alright, there we go. Alright, we'll leave that for now. Let's go mess with the new horse. So of course this came out, of course this came out last week. If you were doing the 50 gems per day, you probably had it last Wednesday. But this is the first time we're actually going over it, so yeah, let's go mess with it. I forget what his name is. I always just keep calling them the horse troop. I actually completely forget. But of course, we're going to build a 4x Centaur, 4x Divinity Fields team, so it counts for both. So that should be able to find them pretty easily, since there's not too many things in that category, of course. But still a handful, since it's most of the kingdom. So here's everything we'd have to do. This is a troop that I always keep mentioning is better than him. He explodes basically the entire board and does a bunch of damage to all enemies at about the same damage ratio as this guy does. And this guy does about that much damage, actually a little bit less. And it's boosted by Centaur allies to get him up to basically Wordbreaker damage. And if the enemy happens to die, it gives 50% mana to all allies. This is really good if, very heavy on the if you can actually get a kill with him. Because 50% mana to all allies, which I believe also includes himself, that's basically 200% mana. Obviously, it might not necessarily bring anything to full, but that's still pretty good. It's only when he gets a kill, though, instead of every cast. If that was every cast, this would be a completely different troop as far as its viability. But it's only on kill that he does that, which is kind of hard to do when you're hitting all enemies simultaneously. But yeah, his damage is a bit lower than Wordbreaker, but when accounting for his boost ratio that Wordbreaker doesn't have, they're basically the same damage. Because he's boost ratioed based on Centaur allies, which means by default that's 2 higher because, you know, himself. I guess you could also upgrade him and give him 6 extra magic, so yeah, I guess compared to Wordbreaker, they're about the same damage. If not anything, this might actually be slightly higher in some situations. Because they both have a different way of gaining magic. This has a chance of gaining magic 1 in 4 every time you take an extra turn. And this thing gives a consistent 1 magic to itself and all other centaurs, as well as life, but mostly magic is the relevant one, whenever you take an extra turn. So both of their benefits are pretty similar. It's just Wordbreaker keeps it all for himself, and he gives it to the entire team of centaurs. So in that regard, his final trait is technically better than Wordbreaker. The other benefit he has over Wordbreaker is he has Impervious, whereas Wordbreaker very specifically does not have Impervious. It just has Devour Immune, which can easily be stunned off. And of course, the main team you would use it with is him plus Ortima, and then the rest is just based on what you want to run, which would likely be a Divinity Fields weapon with like one other mana accumulator. Double check if they have like a good Empower or something. I don't think they do. They do have Empowers, but a good Empower is a different thing. That's something they don't have. I don't know. What do we want to run? Orbit would be really funny. But he's just trying to be a mid-rarity team right now. I'm not trying to go anything too fancy. So I think we're just going to put an Explodey standard resummon weapon, assuming this place has one, which it does. We could either do it for Centaur or Divinity Fields, both of which are technically correct unless we're running Hero Class. I guess we could do it based on what color we need. Or actually do a mix of both. Because here we can actually go block him. I guess we do it that way then, just so we have a better tank ability. Keep him in a nice safe third slot so he can keep alive to be able to go get his mana. And then this also allows us to set our banner to like red-brown, which would also allow us to go Barrier on Brown Hero Class if we don't want to run Oracle. Or, yeah, it's Oracle. Let's try to remember what the Hero Class was for a second. Or not the, the Hero Class for the Kingdom. We're not going to run it, though. But I think we minus purple here and just fill out for whatever we can for mana accumulation. Which, I kind of want to do Herdmaster, but then we have to go minus blue. Let me double check. What do we have? What is a good blue anything mana accumulator? Or just anything? Actually, let's type it in. Blue, yellow, all color. That's not great. It is Empower, but it doesn't destroy. If this was destroy instead of remove, it'd be great. I might just have to stick with Herdmaster for the cleanse. This also makes it good for when you might actually use it like a Guild War or PvP-like situation. Having a way to cleanse. Alright, so we'll run it like this then. We'll run it as Elemental, so that does mean we gotta change banner to minus blue though. That's fine. Minus blue. We gotta make sure whatever we do has red in it though. Ideally red-brown. So something like this would be really solid. And then we can run either Elementalist or, probably just Elementalist. I was thinking like maybe Geomancer for the half mana start. But then you don't get all the Entangle and everything else. Maybe let's go roll the same. I'm even going to run it in PvP Center just to see. Because realistically, when we're going to be using this, it's probably going to be in a restriction like that. Like, you know, in an area where you have a Centaur or a Divinity Field restriction. Of course, that can happen in other areas that isn't just PvP, but PvP is the most likely situation. So this is basically a standard Worldbreaker team to some degree, except with King Salinas on it. Or Equistis, I mean. And yeah, let's go try it. So we are using Shiny Artima here. It's definitely not required, but if you have it, it definitely would help. Even if it's not shinied. What's your big benefit for getting shiny? I think she just hit a... Was it an extra enemy or better boost ratio? I think it was just one of the annoying ones that only got better boost ratio. But since almost your entire team is Centaur, it is quite a bit of extra damage. Same as for him. He's not gaining as much of a boost ratio, but he is hitting every enemy instead of just 2. So right off the bat, we want to be taking red ideally to go get our mana up. This board does not have any red, so we'll just grab a bunch of mana. And once again, we do not have red, so we'll just grab a bunch of mana. Oh, I forgot, we have +1 yellow off his link. I was like, wait, why are we getting more yellow? It's because he has air link. So we'll go and get a big destroy here. Unfortunately, not enough to really get any mana going, but we'll do that. Get a bunch of explodes. Get some amount of mana. I wish our weapon wasn't blocked on brown. This board is giving us no red at all. At this point, I might just hold Artima and go for the full mana. Oh, Herdmaster time. Okay, let's go get Herdmaster. The full mana. Because I need to cleanse before that thing does anything weird. And now we can start going. So now we can get our full mana accumulation. We can try to get one of them into kill range. We can keep poking them. We can keep getting status effects. Actually, Skull here honestly would be kind of good. Because we're trying to get them into kill range for the AoE. It's definitely not required when you're doing it with him, but that's one of the nice things about Artima with him. Is Artima hits the 2 weakest enemies. And because you're hitting the 2 weakest enemies, that makes it more likely that you'll be able to go do his effect. Which when you get a kill, you'll get 50% mana onto all your troops. So this will allow us to now cleanse off of this guy. Because we'll give 50% mana to everything. We can now do our cleanse. And then we just repeat the cycle again. Go for our Artima, it'll hit the 2 weakest. We can then do our AoE and get all the mana again. Go get a bunch of mana accumulations by getting that down. We can use him again to get the 50% mana start. And just rinse and repeat that until you just whittle them down. And that's pretty much the whole premise here. Is Street brings them into kill range. This kills them. He gives 50% mana start to your whole team. This does cleanse and handles all that with a little bit of mana accumulation. And this is for backup resummon as well as mana accumulation. We got a little bit of a slow start there, but you know, once it gets going, it's pretty fine. Yeah, it's not bad. I still feel like Worldbreaker spam would be stronger than it. But it says better overall synergy, if nothing else. Like, even though Worldbreaker's still stronger. Like, this has a more, like, in-kingdom kind of synergy. As they have really, really good together. They have no mana conflict with each other. They have an ability, or she has an ability that basically brings perfectly into his kill range. And then he just does the rest of the mana accumulation. And you're good to go. And they both have a small amount of mana accumulation that both assist each other. Because neither of them on their own give full mana, but, you know, in combination, casting one and then the other will generally give you full mana. Or at least pretty close to it. I do want to take this red here. I'm going to not cast her. I think that was the biggest issue last battle. Because I just went too long without getting my main mana accumulator hit first. So we'll go throw that down. We'll then go and use her to kill something into kill range. Once they're in kill range, obviously you cast him to get 50% mana start across your entire team. We then go for more mana accumulation. We'll do it her. Actually, we don't have any effects. We'll go for the other one. If we were frozen this stuff, we would want to go for it. But we should have enough mana now. We simply just go for a bunch of greens because we need enough green to be able to go feed him the full mana. And then we just kill it with that and get 50% mana. Oh, never mind, a spell reduction. Well, we'll kill it with that then. But there we go. Yeah, it's easy as that. Yeah, it's not bad. Really good Artima synergy. Which is like the main thing you would use it with. Artima and him with like 2 mana accumulators. His place could still use a slightly better mana accumulator. So the one big benefit of Worldbreaker over both of these two. Worldbreaker just does so much mana accumulation. Like more than what Herdmaster even would. Like either of these two individually. Because he explodes pretty much the whole board rather than all of a color. Because this only explodes all yellow and this also only explodes all yellow. Whereas Worldbreaker does 18 explodes of any kind. Which will generally do way more than just exploding all yellow. Unless there's like a perfectly amount of yellow on the board or something. Oh no! Alright, that's really bad. You need to go get full mana so I can go cleanse that before we die. That is very important that we get that off. We'll take the purple, go for Herdmaster. Hopefully he lives a turn. Oh, he just natural cleansed that? Wow. Good job. He just natural cleansed Trick and Treat. In like 3 turns. That was really lucky. So now we get 50% mana on everything. That gives us Artima. We then use Artima to go get into kill range again. It's now in kill range. Just need to give it mana. Now it has mana, so we go for kill. That gives us all of our mana back, and we just repeat the cycle until we win. That's not bad. And it doesn't use any mythics. That's not bad. For the kind of restrictions you would use this thing in, it's pretty good. Still slightly worse than Worldbreaker, but surprisingly decent. It's just their synergies are so good together. Bring the kill range and then get the kill for 50% start. Really good in kingdom synergy, which a lot of our kingdoms really need more of. So hopefully it'll keep adding more troops like this. Like, obviously, Golvania got one last week with it finally getting a mana accumulator and everything. It's just the mana accumulator doesn't really synergize that well with the troop it was supposed to be with. Is the only weird thing about it. But we need more troop combinations like this, where you have a 2 really good double synergy, and you don't even need a mythic to make it work. There's not enough kingdoms have this kind of combination going for it. And that should be dead. Yeah, definitely get your job done. You would obviously not use this as a general team, but it's great for pure Divining Fields, and it's great for pure Centaur. So if you ever have that restriction, something like this is perfectly fine. We need red and brown and everything. We'll take red for now. Come on, 1 mana short. No, should have put the banner a little bit more into it. How do you still not have full mana? How's that even possible? I really need to get the cleanse before anything weird happens. To have it on standby because I believe he's running. Oh no, he's not. I thought he was running elementals for a second. It's not as scary then. Still scary though. So I'm doing that to get full Hard Master so we can go get that down. Get the cleanse if we need it for anything. I was hoping something would have full mana right here. Now they do. Alright. Oh, we'll go for the skull here because we can do that to get the skull cascade. I would say something is in kill range, but unfortunately it's Submerge. And I do not have Dispel. Yeah, I don't have Dispel. So we are going to have to go down the Artima poke on it. Which luckily auto hits weakest, so we don't need to worry about it missing or not. But otherwise this team has no way to cleanse it, unfortunately. The alternative would be like Mech Hero class, but I don't think that's that needed with this. Because worst comes to worst in those situations, you just use Artima to do the finishing kill like this. Oh, she didn't have enough damage though, that's a little unfortunate. He also doesn't have enough damage. Everything's like ever so slightly short of enough damage here. This should get Artima to full though. So this will get Artima to full. No! He healed from the armor gain. I forgot you get armor every time you cast that. Oh no! Can I get Artima to full mana this turn? Otherwise we might have a problem. We could actually lose. Let's see, we could do that. Okay, I think we're fine, we're fine. As long as we get a double kill here, we should be okay. I think that's still a single kill. The problem is that Submerge is being so annoying. The other thing that's annoying is he has a triple summoner all the way in back and I haven't hit him a single time. Because he was the healthy... Oh nice, we got silence! I forgot. This weapon of Eye of Orion has silence per cast. And if it wasn't for that, I think we actually would have resummoned the whole team. He still could. But yeah, that saved us really hard right there. Yeah, I forgot I had that, even though that was also in the other battle. It reapplies silence to first slot every time you cast it. Which is really strong. Oh, there we go. It's one of the reasons why we use this weapon over the other one. I forget what the other weapon's effect is, but it's not that. Actually, let me double check. What is it? I know it's not as good as Eye of Orion when I saw the two. It was Kingdom... what kingdom was it again? Divining Fields. Let me double check what the effect was. I think it has like Yellow Storm or something. Yeah, it was this one. No, it doesn't even have that. It has like nothing. It has a useless summon that you don't even want. Yeah, it has literally nothing. Whereas this one gets silence and 1 mana to all allies. The silence is the most useful one. Random effect to an ally, 1 to all allies. Yeah, this one's way better. All 3 of these aren't that bad, but the silence definitely would be the best one, obviously. But random stats effect's not bad. Because you basically get to double random stats effect. Not only do you give a random stats effect to all Divining Fields troops, which will be 3 or 4 your team, depending on if you go hero class or not. But you get an additional +1 random effect on top of that. So one of them could potentially get 2 random effects on it. Which isn't that bad. I would do one last battle with it, and then we'll go mess with Tower of Doom the rest of the time, probably. Yeah, overall verdict on him, great for what he's supposed to be used for. I don't think you would ever use him outside that context, though. But he's a great World Breaker alternative for Divining Fields and Centaur. It's pretty much his entire role. Is if you don't own World Breaker, use him for that restriction. And honestly, even if you do, he's not bad to run. I still feel like you get more value out of World Breaker, but the big downside of World Breaker is he's really anti-countered by Submerge. And I guess to some degree he is too. But I guess they're both equally countered to it. I guess his biggest benefit is Impervious, I guess. It's probably his biggest benefit over it. Because otherwise he's getting less mana technically since the explodes are more consistent. He's getting less damage. The only thing that it really has going for him as far as like unique things that are better is his Impervious, so you don't need to worry about stats effects as much. Instead of just only immune to Devour. And he gives 1 magic to all Centaur allies instead of just himself. His Wardbreaker gives 5 to a random stat, which is a little bit more than 1 magic per extra turn, but it only applies to himself. Whereas this thing gives it to all Centaurs on your team, which most notably is helping our team out a lot. It's not really something I mentioned up to this point, but our team is the biggest beneficiary of that. It's making it so he's easier to get into the kill range that he needs to get into to actually get kills. Something that Wardbreaker would not do. Oh yeah, we're probably going to die to this now, by the way. This team has like no counter to it. Also, you just killed the thing I was trying to show. And we just got like the worst possible summon. I forgot it could even summon tarot cards. That's funny. That's so bad. The fact that those can even be summoned is just trolling. Let's see. We can give 2 attack to an ally. Should we go do it? Let's do it. Oh, I don't even have full mana on it. Never mind. We got to do it. This 2 attack might be the 2 attack we need to win. Let's see. Oh, I don't even have full mana still. How do I still not have full mana? Here we go. We got this. Let's see if we can get an extra turn from it. We have a 14% chance for an extra turn. No, we didn't get it. Let's kill him. But yeah, that's a new trip. Not bad. Definitely get it. And great Wardbreaker alternative. But only good for Divinity Field Centaur, of course. But nice thing to have to fill it out if you don't already have other options for it. But here we go. Okay, so last thing. Tower of Doom. We have not started it yet. We need to go complete the entire thing. And they seem to have color-coded our list. So great job, Jamie. Already gave them some gems earlier from last night because we're finishing out this stuff pretty late. I tried to kick someone because they did like literally 0 points when we were like almost didn't get all the points for the week. I just need to go recruit soon, which reminds me, if anyone wants to join the guild, we do have potentially a few spots open. Technically only 1 at the moment, but there's like 3 or 4 people that we might have to go shift out. Because some people did really low contribution on the week that we nearly like didn't end up getting it done. It was mostly some of our newer players that's kind of been like barely coasting by. They have like... oh, wait. That was the wrong one. Oh, no. I was looking at the wrong thing. I thought we were already in the next area. No. I already wasted 1 sigil. I haven't done that in a long time. But yeah, we do have 1 or a few spots left if anyone's looking for a guild on PC Mobile. Currently only 1, but it's probably close to like 3 or 4. I just want to recruit them slowly rather than all at once. Oh, let's see. Otherwise, I would kick all of them simultaneously. Yeah, I haven't taken the wrong room in a really long time. I thought we were already at the next tier. Not quite yet. Shouldn't matter much. We're about tier 6. We have like infinite battles. Don't scare you like that. My bad, my bad. That like almost never happened, so it caught me off guard. Because for a second I thought they messed it up. But no, that's just me taking the wrong room. It's a good thing I haven't scouted for a while. I feel like I would say the wrong rooms if I ever scouted if I wasn't streaming it. Luckily, every time we ever scouted, we were streaming, so I could always look back in a stream to double check. But I have such short-term memory sometimes that I feel like I would forget it, like seconds later. Like what room I was just taking. Also, I will be skipping all the haste. I feel like we have way more than enough battles this week to not have to do haste. So this will be a haste skip week, even though I bought tier 6. Yeah, I keep getting confused when there's an unlock for some reason. I'm like double checking. It's like, yeah, we're on the right floor. Like second triple guessing myself now. Anyway, I took away my extra turn red, but it gave me all the mana, so it didn't really matter there. Alright, floor 4, right? Make sure to take the right one. Okay, we'll take this one. Yeah, they even color-coded it this time to make sure you fail even less. This is the first time they ever color-coded it. They seem to have color-coded all the better rooms. Whereas the rooms that are skippable, they didn't color-code. Well, other than the unlock. It's the only one that's not colored a different color. Unlock should have been like green or something. But then you would have to do it for every single one, which would get kind of annoying. But they did all the like the extra ones that you probably want to go for, which are Fireball, Heroism, and Luck. And Power and Haste are normally skip, especially once you get later down the line. But the other one that you would always take isn't highlighted, which is the number all the way at the end. But that would be too much work because you'd have to do that for every single one. Which is probably why they didn't do it. 3, and then we move on to this one. Like a rainbow color code. That's really annoying to have to put in the hex code every single time for each one, though. I'm actually surprised he even did that many times. You gotta, like, manually copy-paste that in, like, every single time. You can also type it out, but it takes a lot longer. I used to be really good at being able to do hex color codes as well. It's something I actually learned in like my final 2 years of high school, because I was in like a digital communications class, and that was actually one of the things we slightly learned. It wasn't really like required, but we're using color codes so much, it's like I'm just gonna remember how to do these now, so I don't ever have to double check or copy paste it from a website. I'm just gonna remember how to do color codes. I somewhat remember, but I do forget a lot of it now, like over 10 years later. That is one weird thing about not being in school for so long. There's definitely a good handful of stuff that you start to forget. Now that it's been like 13 years. Can you add it to in-game nickname? No. But you can add it to team codes. So if you want to make a certain color, like for example, this is Blue Doom, but I can also just call this, let's see if I can even remember. Let's see, I can call this, see, Blue Doom. Actually, that's not as blue. I want it bluer. Let's see. That's like a light blue. Give me a different one. Rename team. How do we make it a little bit lighter? Or did I make it darker? No, that makes it even lighter. Wait, the other way, the other way. Go the other way. Let's see. Let's do it that way. There we go. Blue Doom. See, now I have a Blue Doom team. There's a lot of different blues you could do depending on what you want. I like the light color blue. Really like that cyan color. But, yeah, you can do it for team codes. You can't do it for your in-game name, though. But you can do it for team codes, as well as in chat. So there's our Blue Doom team. I don't bother doing that for the videos because that would get annoying to do for each one. It also makes it so your name is bigger because that counts towards the character limit, unfortunately. So if I was to, like, type a few marked characters here, we already hit the end. Because there's, like, no rooms left. Because it counts as the character limit, unfortunately. So if you do use color codes for teams, you can only make, like, a... Like what? An 8-word... yeah, you can only go 8 words in. So I could call it like Doom Tem. Or Doom Team if I capitalize it. So you can't really put that many words in. Like that's the word limit already if you color code it. It's like 8 word. It's 8 characters shorter than if you would have not color coded it. Which is why I normally don't use it. But you could do that for some of your teams if you want to color code all your teams. So if you want to know where your like Yellow Guild War team is, your other one, like there's like a defend that you always set, stuff like that. You just color code them all. What was I doing? Oh yeah, finishing out Tower of Doom. But yeah, that's been in the game for several years now. Quite a while. I want to say almost like 8 or 9 years. It's been quite a while. I just normally don't utilize it much. All right, floor 7. What are we at? 4 and 5. I hate that you're missing troops, but you refuse to buy the PvP troops with gold marks. Yeah, everything they did with PvP. The only bad thing about all the PvP reworks they did the other year is it's basically impossible to 100% all troops ever in the history of the game, though. And potentially even all weapons and pets. Though all weapons and pets maybe. But all troops are basically impossible to ever fully max. Due to the way that... Well, I guess technically pets is another thing too. But basically everything associated with PvP troops, particularly the gold marks PvP troops, and all immortal PvP troops that aren't the focus immortal, are basically impossible to ever get maxed. Because no one's ever wasting all those gold marks to get that every season. And even if you were, no one's spending the money that would require, if even infinite money could, that would be required to get all immortals instantly. Like the immortal system combined with that one gold mark mythic is basically makes it forever impossible to have all troops ever again. You could have most troops at any given time, but never all. You'll be able to get them later down the line, but it's really hard to get them instantly because of that. Because it's just not worth doing. And I don't think, like, pretty much anyone ever does. Because the gold mark ones just waste too many deed books that you would otherwise want to put into those or into any other useful material. There's so many things that you could use those gold marks on that are better valued in that mythic. And in regard to the immortals, there's just no way to target whatever the second new one is. So if you really wanted it max, there's no realistic way to do so, even with the targetable epic chest, or, you know, those burning epic chests. Even throwing a bunch of marks at that isn't enough to get them upgraded. You'll get them further upgraded than you otherwise would, but fully max them that way is not practical. At least not in the short term. Over a long period of time, you would. But if you wanted them within, like, the season that they come out, that would not be possible. Like, for example, if you wanted to max out the new spider that came out this season, that is just extremely not practical. Even if you find it in the burning chest drop table and everything. Like, this spider, during the duration of the season, is pretty much impossible to get to level 30. There will be 0 people in the entire game that will have this at level 30 by the end of the season. Also, I'm not sure why mine says it's level 30. I guess it's a glitch because I have it at level 0. But ignore that. But it's impossible to have it level 30 this season. Ignoring the fact that mine literally says level 30. It says level 30 with fully traded. Yeah, it doesn't have any traits, nor is it level 30. It's literally level 0. But, like, something like that's impossible to do. For the targeted immortal, you can. But for the non-targeted immortal, it is impossible. Maybe within a few seasons you could, but on the very first season that comes out, you would not be able to go and max it out. Even with, like, infinite money. Let's see. 854. Where did all those? Moving forward. It's something I wish they would adjust some. I don't understand why they just didn't add one immortal each time. It's one of the few instances where adding less content would actually be better rather than more. If they only added one immortal every PvP season instead of 2. Would have been so much better. I'm not sure what ever prompted them to make 2. I wonder if that was ever brought up in the beta at the time. Because 2 for that was a horrible, horrible, horrible idea. And I'm pretty sure at least someone in the beta would have mentioned that. Just because the implications of what that would do for actually be able to upgrade them. Because if all PvP seasons did was add one immortal, it would be realistic to finish everything. The gold mark medals would not be ideal, but you could do them. And being able to get the immortal to max every season would be possible, as long as you bought the season pass. And saved, like, all your burning marks properly to go and target it down. You might not, like, get it fully upgraded with just the base price, but, you know, you get pretty close, if not all the way. Like, Armor de Glacia didn't get max, but I think we got it to, like, level 25, 26, somewhere around there. That is pretty much max. And I'll just scoot the rest of the way over as soon as it gets, like, the last little bit over time. Though I say that, it's been over a year and it still hasn't maxed yet. But it's also because I haven't been buying, like, the PvP passes or anything. I pretty much always skip them. The only reason I went for it this season is it's just really, really solid. Alright, 10. We got 3, 5, 4. It was everything we needed for this floor. We got the lucky, we got the other thing. We got the unlock. Oh no, I didn't get the unlock yet. That might help. How many pets and weapon are we missing? I'm pretty sure it's just immortals. I'm pretty sure it is just immortals for both. The only weapons I'm missing are all mortal weapons I don't have. And all the pets I'm missing are all mortal pets I don't have. I have literally everything else completed. It is just immortals for both. If I go check it real quick, or should be. I don't think I'm missing anything else. I shouldn't be. We can even see it over here. We're missing 11 weapons and 6 pets. Let me see. If I go to unowned, this is an immortal pet, immortal pet, immortal pet, immortal pet. Oh, this was the mythic from. This was a $5 money locked mythic that I still haven't rotated yet. Pretty sure my guild would have found this at least once already. But this was a $5 money locked one that I just wanted to get for free later. I still haven't found it yet. And this one is an immortal pet. So I'm only missing one pet that is an immortal pet. And it was the $5 money lock that is technically free that I haven't found yet of the mythic pet for Astral Mother, which isn't even that useful. And then for weapons, I should pretty much only also be missing the immortal ones. Let's see. Immortal weapon, immortal weapon. One of the weapons associated to the evil dragons. Immortal weapon, immortal weapon, immortal weapon, immortal weapon, immortal weapon. One of the weapons associated to the evil dragons. Another one to the evil dragons, and an immortal weapon. So I'm only missing 3 weapons instead of 3 for evil dragons because I don't have yellow evil dragon. And I want to wait until we get that evil dragon before I create the other weapon. Because technically one of these 2 weapons I can create now. But there's no point until I get the evil dragon so I can create all 3. And then create, obviously, the 6-colored one. But, yeah, it's all just immortals. The only thing I'm actually missing for either of these is all 3 of the evil dragon weapons because the game refuses to give me yellow evil dragon. And the only reason I'm missing a pet is it was a $5 money locked one. I'm just waiting until we get it for free from the last Legends Reborn event that they did for Divinity Fields or whatever it was. All right, what are we doing now? Oh, yeah, finishing out Tower of Doom. That's not Tower of Doom. Back to Tower of Doom. That's all we're missing. It's literally just immortal stuff pretty much. Let's see. 354, which is this one right over here. All right, 11 is just number 2. And yep, just number 2. We're good to go. Just double checking. All right, we're halfway there. Yeah, that reminds me too. There wasn't really any good Super Bowl ads, were there? Because when I said halfway there, I had the halfway there song stuck in my head now. Which I think was playing on one of the Super Bowl things. Well, no, nothing really like stood out that much this year. I feel like that's been the case for the last few years. Alright, 12-5, we're good to go, move forward. Duncan ad? Did they have multiple or just the one? I think I know which one you might be referring to. The Pepsi ad dissing Coca-Cola was pretty funny though. Though the best option is definitely neither. It was all 90 sitcom stars. Oh, a lot of single rooms here. That is, this makes this go a nice bit quicker. Technically, that would be the most optimal if it was to ever be like that. There's always going to be other rooms. But honestly, as many single rooms as possible does get us there quicker. But some of those bonus rooms are really beneficial. It always seems to do like X amount of each. Like you always seem to get like 3 fireballs and 1 heroism before the 25th battle. You posted the color chart, nice. Yeah, I used to have that pretty well memorized, like all of the way that you can like adjust the numbers to get it there. As well as the letters. Because it uses a weird number letter mixture. Where it goes from 0 to F. With the left number being the bigger number and the right one being, or the left character being the bigger one and the right one being the smaller one. Divided every 2. And the first 2 are for red, the second 2 are for green, and then the other 2 are for blue. Let's see. 15 to... I have 15. That was anything we needed. Oh, are we going to finish today? Almost. I think we're going to be a little bit short. I keep forgetting how far tier 6 actually gets you. I'm so used to only buying bare minimum tier 3. Or whatever the Doom weapon is. Tier 3, tier 4. I think it's tier 4 actually. But I'm so used to buying bare minimum that ever since we've been starting to do tier 6 for the last few months, I keep forgetting how much that actually carries you. Like you pretty much completed the whole Tower of Doom on day 1 pretty much. Assuming your guild's already scouted. Especially if you take all the haste scrolls, which we are skipping this time around though. But if you were to take them, I think you could finish it just with the base battles if you have your guild scouted. Which is something we haven't had to do for a while, mostly because the guild has been really on scouting recently. Like by the time we do our stream tonight, or you know at this time, like it's always scouted every time these days. There's always someone who's on it pretty much within the first several hours. Like before I even wake up, like before I even woke up to go do the video today, because I just decided to sleep in rather than stay up because of the Super Bowl thing. But by the time I woke up, they literally fully scouted the whole place. Like they already had scouted to 25 by the time I woke up. Which we can kind of see it right here. Because he started scouting right there. And then he finished by 10 hours ago. Which is 11 o'clock. Okay, maybe he didn't. He had this, but not this one by then. Because this was 14 hours ago, which I would have been up. So he started scouting before I even woke up. And by noon, he already had the whole place scouted out. But he started by, like, morning. And finished before noon. Let's see. 16. We just need 5. And that should be the only thing we need here, and we're good to go. You're up to floor 40 right now? Nice. Yeah, I'll do more later in the week if we end up needing it for points. Hopefully it's not as close as it was last week. Alright, let's see. 2, 3, and 5. I say 2 and 3 and 5 and I'm already second guessing myself. 2, 3, 5. Alright, we know it's 5. Don't triple guess. You know it's 5, just go 5. I do that every time. Like, I could say the exact numbers, and I will double check, like, 5 seconds later to make sure it's the same numbers. Object permanency on numbers. But no, this should be on the unlock. Yep, there we go. And just a double check, that should be all of them. Yep, we're good to go. Move forward. Getting pretty close to when we can start throwing the fireballs down. Like 4 or 5 more floors and we're already good to go. So we might be able to finish tonight. The only thing that might have made us not be able to finish is I think I accidentally took a wrong room. Or I definitely took a wrong room. All the way at the beginning. I'm not sure if that's one sigil is going to matter. Well, it's not too big a deal though. Maybe we'll just be at the cusp of getting it done. Just finish it tomorrow, obviously. 18. What do we have? Here, heroic thing I'm skipping. We'll go for 2. Or the haste. We could also start skipping power soon. Powers technically give no value in a sense. Because all they do is help you speed through the battles. They're technically wasting 1 sigil otherwise if everyone in your guild has enough power to kill them. Or, you know, enough stats in general. Out of every useful room, they're technically the most detrimental one. Since they don't actually give any progress in any way. They just make it so your progress is quicker across the guild. But none of it's actually adding value to the score or anything. Like, even a haste room is technically more valued than a power, in a sense. Because haste brings you closer to Valraven. Power just makes the battles go quicker. It's still good to grab X amount of them, though. But after Monday, I pretty much stopped grabbing powers. Like, I'll normally grab them on the Monday. But after Monday, I kind of just stop because by then you probably have enough stats as a guild that you don't really need more. Because the first several is pretty nice until you have like 10 all stats or so. Everything beyond that starts to get a lot of diminishing return. I just realized I'm still using my weapon in last slot. I should probably move that up soon. We're getting pretty close to the point where we actually can die on first slot. Because Flower Dragon has no score reduction, unlike Stellarix. So eventually you plop like 2 or 3 skulls in that thing and it just drops dead. I think the main thing helping us right now is since we bought so deep, we have barrier on... We have 2 things that are helping us. You get barrier to all your allies at start a battle, but you also get 25% score reduction. If we didn't have either of those 2 things, we'd be pretty dangerous right now. Because we're almost at the point where they can 2-shot us. But with those 2 extra perks, it would take them like 4 hits to kill us. 1 because the barrier and an extra 1 because the 25% reduction. Which goes a long way, bringing them down from 2 hittable to 4 hittable. It actually allows us to basically first slot Flower Dragon the whole time. At least up to 425. Beyond that, you probably would want to shift your hero up. Okay, that's the only thing we need moving forward. If anyone else does any questions, anyone want me to go over, let me know. Because once we finish out Tower of Doom, we'll probably call it for now. And I'm not sure if we're going to be doing a Vault Grind stream this weekend, but I will be streaming Brighter Shores every single day, so if you want to stop by and still ask Gems of War questions, feel free. But Tower of Doom I might just mostly be doing off-stream this week. Because that game ended up doing a really huge update, the biggest they've done in literally like the year and a half the game's been out. I do kind of want to power grind it for the next couple weeks or so. We'll still be doing all of our normal Gems of War stuff, obviously. But probably not doing Vault Event this weekend. We'll still be streaming every Guild War day in a few weeks, though, of course. Let's see. 2 and 5. And, of course, that's Blue Guild War as well. Gonna see a lot of Flower Dragon Takshaka teams. I promise I will use something else. We'll try a Beatrix. We'll try Double Tesla. We'll try a couple things for it. We'll have some fun with it. Even if we lose some score for it. Because there's a lot of things you can do for Blue. There's a lot of teams I want to show for the video, too. Well, we'll do at least our normal third. I'm not sure if we'll do extra, but there's a lot of things you can do in the Blue category, of course. There's so many strong angles. But the most obvious ones are Double Takshaka with Flower, anything with Double Tesla. And there's some pretty good pure elemental teams that could be done with Mirage Queen's 50% mana start. Though those are basically just Flower Dragon teams, though. Which reminds me, you can actually get away with Dragon Team as well. Because you also have access to Essentia under blue. So you can go both the two routes that you can use Crystal, you could use Chrysathanax really quickly. Because you have access to both the 250% depending on if you want to go Elemental route or Dragon route. And a really good meta 4x Dragon team is pure blue, by the way. Everything you use on it is blue. It's Wanda Stars, Flower Dragon, Essentia, or not Essentia, the Empower guy that converts to yellow, that's blue-yellow, and then Essentia and last slot. That team's pure blue. It's normally referred to as a Dragon team, but it's also pure blue team. Well, it happened to also be 4x Dragon for the extra magic bonus and everything. I forget what the full bonus is. I think it's like attack, magic, and a little bit of this random stats. Oh yeah, I've been getting my Dragonite every single day. I think at most I've missed 1 day total since we've been needing Dragonite. Otherwise, I've been getting it literally every day. Oops, that's not the direction I wanted that in. I was going for the 5x brown and somehow took a 3 brown. Despite there also being a 4x brown there. I have no clue how we misclicked that hard. Alright, we're almost there. 21, we just have to take the 3, and then honestly, I think we're start fireballing. We're pretty much there. Not quite yet, though. Let's see, if I skip this power... Let's see, this place gets heroismed. We have 3 fireballs. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, this is the last floor I have to do normally. Oh, sorry, floor 22 is the last floor I gotta do normally. The floor after this floor. But yeah, we're gonna be able to make it today, then. Nice. Yeah, honestly, we need to start doing tier 6 more often. Like every time now. It's so nice just to be able to completely finish it on Monday. If we need to do more later, we'll just do it on the weekend then. If the guild ever falls behind. Well, we can basically clear out Tower of Doom on day 1. Or tier 6. Alright, nothing else we need there. And all the extra benefits make it so smooth. Like, I can just run Flower Dragon first slot the whole time and never switch it out. There's just no point that's ever going to be damage pressured with Barrier and 25% reduction. Wait, that's not enough to kill? That's concerning. Luckily, it won't matter here. But I got surprisingly close to mattering. Alright, 22. What do we need here? I think this is just... Yeah, we take the fireball, we take the other thing, and then we're done. What is that? 4-5? 4-5. We're required to go to floor 27 to get the 66 dooms. Well, we're probably going to go to like floor 30 something later this weekend. Because I have a feeling we'll need slightly more points. It's like waiting to the weekend to finish it. I did the same thing for Underspire. Actually, last weekend I finished Underspire literally in the last 2 hours. Because it was after the Super Bowl and after eating and everything else. I was just kind of getting situated for the night. By the time it was, I think it was like a little past midnight by the time I did all my Underspire battles last week. So I tend to save them like all the way for the weekend. Like anything in the game that can be saved for a weekend, I normally delay till the weekend. Just to get it done all at once. And the guild event is one of those. And the other one is Underspire. Then PvP grind if we're trying for a leaderboard. Like I probably won't try doing a push for it until like Saturday. Even though I want to get top 3 for my bracket. Yeah, that's basically a deep book if we make it, which we should be able to. 22. Okay, now we start fireballing like crazy. But first we gotta do this one room. Yeah, we're basically done. I think we have to do one more battle. As far as finishing the, you know, base 24, 5 floors. That's not for sure I took it that way. Out of all the things I could have done, I'm like, let's give Valraven mana. Out of every move we could have done, that was one of the worst. That's one thing I hate about Guild Wars as far as the rest of the game right now. Or more so the rest of the game to Guild Wars. Is you always have such good mana accumulation and everywhere else in the game. Where the meta is normally to just take whatever you can as immediately as possible. Whereas in Guild Wars, you actually have to think. But because you have such a free team in so many other game modes, you never have to think. Blue Guild Wars is not like that. We'll have Double Talk Shaka. We can go back to not thinking. But, you know, in Guild Wars, you normally have to actually think, like, what you want to go do for your turn and everything. Whereas if you're using Pharaoh or Takshaka, it's like, oh yeah, let me just take a move as quickly as possible so we get to the next turn where I have more value. It's something that you have to do drastically different in Guild Wars. Like, you actually have to play the game. You can't just, like, auto-pass your turn and just win the next turn. Like, pretty much every other game mode in the game. I am curious to see how that new system later this month is going to affect the meta, though. Like, if it'll actually end up nerfing teams like this to some degree. Or just make them even more broken than they already are. Because that is very much could also happen. I just hope it's not too paywalled and or time-gated. We're at floor 24. This is just a fireball into finish room, and it should be the final battle. What room was it again? It was room number 2, and then we're done. Fireball. Final battle, and then we heroism. And if the guild needs more points, we'll get it this weekend then. Oh, don't use heroism now. Don't do that. This is the final battle we have to do, and then we heroism. And that would be Tower of Doom pretty much completed. At least for us. Then we'll need to go do a little bit more if the guild needs more points later. Which I have a feeling we might. We're gonna have some slackers lately. With some people like mega carrying. But I do want to start slowly recruiting the rest of the empty spots we have. Well, not really empty, but the slightly less active ones. And now we're done. Fireball. I mean, heroism. And that is Tower of Doom completed, up to all the Forge Scrolls. Now, anything else we would need to go do is because the guild isn't doing their points. But I'll wait for this weekend to go do it, see where they're at, and we'll push for it on, like, Saturday or something. If everyone moved up to their 66. Should we go join them real quick? Go join them in the 66 club. Shouldn't take that long to go get. Let's go join them real quick. Yeah, I only have to move forward 2 floors. It's like nothing. Yeah, let me go move forward real quick. 2, 3, and then 2. 2, 3, 2. Yeah, let's go grab these real quick. Why not? I'll go join everyone in the 66 club. Which if everyone did that in the guild, we'd be done with the event. There's definitely going to be some people that do less. But also some that will do more. How do we get no mana from that? That's unfortunate. Alright, that was 2. Now we need to go grab 3, and then we go grab 2 again. And then that is truly Tower of Doom completed. Unless we need more points this weekend to go carry whoever's lacking. But at that point, we'll have like a billion sigils, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. Tower of Doom is still the easiest event in the game to end up completing. Mostly because it was never really balanced around full scouting. For whatever reason, the game mode seems to be balanced around like not scouting at all. Which I guess is to make sure it doesn't punish casual guilds as much. But in doing so, if your guild actually scouts out all the room, it's easily the easiest of the week-long guild events. As far as total points needed. Because you already know where all the good value rooms are and you don't end up wasting a billion sigils. Alright, this one is done, and now we just have to do one more, I believe. Yep, just gotta do 2 and then the final battle here. And if we need more this weekend, we'll do more this weekend then. How about you open a dragon egg every Monday? I could. I didn't have enough this Monday, but we should every subsequent Monday, I believe, at this point. But yeah, next week's Monday video, we will go open it with the new campaign. Maybe we'll finally get Yellow Dragon. And once we finally do, it's a, what, month after the fact, I think? We'll be able to go get the new dragon. Or, you know, the 6-colored guy. Which I think will be slightly more than a month. Well, I guess it depends if I farm the Vault event on that given time. Like how far we go into it. Because I'm not sure how much a Dragonite I'll be able to get this weekend. We'll definitely try to get some. I don't think it's going to be like a crazy, crazy amount, though. How far am I doing? Wrong way. Brain stopped working for a second there. Couldn't figure out what way to move a 6-colored object. Honestly, I had that issue with Puzzle Quest 1 a lot. Like their first Match 3 game that the Gems of War devs end up doing. For some reason, my brain can never process the 4-colored gem in that game. And the same thing happens for me with the 4-colored gem in this game and the 6-colored gem. It just covers so many colors that I can't process all of them simultaneously. Alright, there we go. Nice. I've joined a 66 club. And Jamie's going grinding all the way through. Look at my one extra one I took. And he's, or because they took a power. I did skip one power. Mostly because we're almost already at all 10 all stats. So magic's a little bit lower, I guess. Maybe I should have taken a power. We got some 0 slacking. But they'll get the points in eventually. Hey, Tyrion, you're in the 0-2. But anyways, guys. I guess we'll call it there for now. We will be back next week's Monday with the brand new campaign. What power gem is that bringing? I have no clue. We'll find out then. And yeah, we'll have a new power gem coming in. We'll have a new campaign. As far as things happening this week, don't forget to get the pet on Wednesday. The Valentine's Day pet will be available. Don't forget to go grab it. The daily of the horse, Lunar New Year event, Year of the Horse. This is still available as a daily every single day. Don't forget to go finish out this week if you want to go get the copy of the Legend, the 6 copies of the pet, 5 to max it, 1 for the golden. The armor if you didn't get in the past year, and of course the power orb if you want a really cheap one. I'll be going for the power orb through the rest of the week. And of course, if you haven't gotten it already, the Mythic is still in the Glory Gem Guild and VIP chest. We covered a video on it last Friday. It is still in drop table for the next 4 days, which means if you still want it, open it in the next 4 days before Friday reset. Otherwise, don't open your keys until Friday. Otherwise, you're just going to get more copies of him and just waste your potential because you don't ever need more than 1 copy of him. So if you already have it, don't open your Glory Gem Guild or VIP chest. You don't need more than 1. And beyond that, I feel like I'm forgetting one other thing. Oh yeah, and Vault Event weekend this weekend, which I probably won't be streaming, but I will be grinding it some. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Oh yeah, and also don't forget to get the free reward on Valentine's Day. There's a free reward on the 14th, which is, what days does that fall this year? The 14th is Saturday. Don't forget to grab that on Saturday then. You'll be able to get like probably 50 free gems and a handful of trait stones or whatever it is. It's like a 2 tribute basically. And I will catch you guys later. Goodbye everyone. And thanks for watching.